Now, the online registration process has been a bit of a nightmare for drivers trying to renew their licenses. Gauteng Transport MEC Jacob Mamabolo is expected to launch a mobile license renewal centre in Midrand today. It's part of the department's efforts to reduce the backlog of license renewals in the province. Over 30,000 drivers have been driving illegally on the province's roads since the beginning of March. eNCA's Mankoba Mkunu has more for us. Mankoba, just tell us, I've been through this over the past couple of months, and it really, I mean, even with that appointment, if you can manage to get one, you're still standing for hours in a queue. I can only imagine how frustrating this must be for people who have no access to online facilities to book and make that appointment. It's quite tedious. So hopefully this new initiative is going to make that much easier for those who have that deadline to meet.
Indeed, Viveka. In fact, many of the Gauteng motorists have been left very frustrated, Viveka, at the fact that they've been trying to renew their licenses. In fact, you'll recall that we went to visit some of the testing stations in October, where we spoke to a number of motorists who say that they were left frustrated by the long queues. But not only that, the major headache, of course, being the online registration process, which they say is simply failing them. It's not helping them in terms of trying to renew their licenses on time. But of course, the Gauteng Roads and Transport MEC is saying that there could be a bit of a reprieve, Viveka, given the fact that they are now going to be launching these new mobile testing centers where drivers will be able to renew their licenses. So I just want to step out of shot just to show you, Viveka, what it looks like. So it is a bus that will be used, and of course inside it's a fully fledged testing station with all the equipment that is needed for one to be able to renew their license. But I just want to step inside, Viveka, just to show you how it looks like inside, so that you have a picture of what it is that you'll see when you come inside this particular station. So here, as I enter, Viveka, on my right, you can see this is where the cashiers will be stationed, and that's where all the monies will be processed for this particular renewal of the license if one comes to this particular station. But I just want to move also this side. Lakibulang, if I can just ask you to show this side. This is where the biometrics are done, Uveka. So here, this is where your fingerprints will be taken. This is where your signature will be taken and so forth. And if you move this side, you'll also see there is an eye testing station that is here. So you will be able to come and renew your license fully here without needing to go to another testing station. But I just want to quickly bring in the MEC for Transport here in Gauteng, Jacob Mamabolo, just to explain a bit more about this particular initiative. MEC, thank you for your time. Let's start here. Obviously, this is a great reprieve for motorists here in Gauteng, but how will it work?
Well, firstly, I must say this is a great delight for us in the province. It's obviously a very, a great day in the sense that we are unveiling essentially two solutions. The first one is the bus, which is a mobile unit dedicated exclusively for driver license renewals. And the way it works is that firstly it has got good space and capacity. We can take 4 workstations. So it means that at any given time we'll be able to serve 4 people strictly for driver license renewals. As you can see, the technology inside, it's able to make sure that we test your eyes. But this moving forward, our intention is that we must be able to work with optometrists who will be able to provide certificates that confirm that people's eyes are okay. But we're also able to do fingerprint verification, which is critical for identification and for the security of the system. All that is fitted here. And then we have got a payment facility where we are actually going to do cashless. We are going to bring in a speed machine where you can just swipe, you can tag, so that we actually remove cash from these new facilities. These facilities, they are going to be deployed to different areas. As you can see, this is a bus. It can go anywhere. And this one is using diesel. And then we are able to deploy it to different sites where there's a need. We are also side by side with this, introducing about 4 new buses that will, which are electrical buses. In other words, these are zero-emission buses. The electrical buses are going to be excellent because people will not be affected by the emissions, the smoke. So it will also give, applicants a great comfort. So with the electrical buses, it's going to make sure that we also comply with the basic requirements for protecting the climate, zero emissions. So that's where we will be going. And the go live for this is that by 1st of February, the electrical buses will now be will be in full swing. This one is available now, and we can start working with it immediately in the new year. So to that extent, we are set for a completely new chapter in the history of driver license renewals in the province, and we are leveraging best technologies. The second part of the solution that we are piloting is that people have been complaining that they can't find slots. So today, we, together with the RTMC, the Road Traffic Management Agency, Corporation, we have released about 2,380 slots to people that have not asked for them. So the pilot we're also doing today is going to people and say, here is a slot for you. These 2,380 slots we have issued, the people that they've been issued to must confirm before the 24th of December. That is, confirm your slot that you'll use it. So this is another pilot. If it works well, it means we are going to, the residents of Gauteng will no longer have to look for slots, because we appreciate people come to us and say, I want to renew. So they shouldn't be looking for slots. So this second part of the pilot, it's essentially to say, here is a slot for you. We're starting with a group for September, and then we're going to go to the next month.
Okay. MEC, I have to ask this. Of course, the last time we spoke, the backlog was at 30,000 people that were not able to renew their licenses. So how is the backlog right now? How are you dealing with it? And what are the numbers? What are the figures that you're sort of looking at?
Well, remember that the backlog, we're defining it as people that were in trouble with the laws from the 1st of September, because all those between March and end of August are covered by the exemption period, and now that has been extended to everybody. So it means the backlog that we're working on will have now changed. But we were working on a backlog of 30,000 numbers. But as you know, in the week from the 16th of November to end of November, we have serviced about 50,000 licenses were renewed. So just in 2 weeks, we're able to impact 50,000. And that will mean those will be some of the people that were in the March to August, but essentially the backlog we're talking about were only for people that started in September. So this tells you that with the new innovations we have introduced, and that is why you no longer hear an outcry about I can't find slots. That is gone. That is gradually fading away. But in February next year, when we roll out these buses, and with the slots that now we are issuing to people, they don't have to apply, they don't have to look for them, you just confirm. I'm quite sure that nobody in this province will be crying for a slot, because we are going to give them slots up front.
Okay, and the online registration process, of course, that has been a major headache for people. So will this continue? Because motorists are saying it's failing them and they want it scrapped.
Well, maybe not in this province anymore. I mean, our figures, our technology, our solutions we are putting in place actually clearly demonstrate that that argument has outlived its, I mean, its value as an argument, because I'm actually saying it's obsolete as an argument, in the sense that that cry was before we introduced these new solutions. At this point, with what we are doing, 50,000 in 2 weeks, I don't think anyone should still be saying that in the province. So in Gauteng province, we have cracked and we have dealt decisively with the complaint about not getting slots. Just today, we have deposited into the public 2,880 slots without people asking for them. We're giving them. And that is going to be the norm and the trend. So we can see innovation in our province that I don't think that argument still holds water, is obsolete, has passed its useful date. So it's no longer an argument for Gauteng province.
Okay, thank you very much, MEC, for your time. That was the MEC for Roads and Transport here in Gauteng, giving us a brief synopsis of what this project will look like. Of course, it's going to be launched in February, as you've heard the MEC allude to that.
Thanks very much, Mankoba, and I'm sure it will bring some relief to many who have been trying for months to actually get going on the roads legally as well, renewing those licenses.